A truly seasoned gardener knows all about just how essential and valuable the humble plastic pot is. From the tiny cell packs that held forgotten seedlings to the massive 5-gallon containers that once housed a prized tomato, they know that with a simple snip, stack, or stash, these pots transform into your garden's most versatile assistant. While the rest of us see just a pot, they see a plant protector, a pest manager, and the key to a more productive garden. So, what's the secret? Well, let's find out. The tomato support. Tomato plants are the drama queens of the vegetable patch. Yeah, even the most seasoned gardeners will attest to this. They're leggy, they're thirsty, they're prone to disease, and they have a frustrating tendency to topple over, just as they're laden with fruit. We stake them, we cage them, we tie them up, you name it. But the 200 IQ gardener knows the real secret to a mighty tomato isn't above the ground. It's below. The stem itself is a secret root factory waiting to be activated. And believe it or not, a plastic pot can help you out with all this. At planting time, or even a few weeks after, you take a bottomless plastic pot and place it around your tomato plant stem. You then fill this new above-ground cylinder with a high-quality potting mix. What happens next is just magic. The buried portion of the tomato stem, now surrounded by loose, fertile soil instead of compacted earth, will spontaneously erupt with adventitious roots. These are new roots, additional anchors that plunge down from the stem, creating a massive secondary root system. This does a couple of things incredibly well. For one, it provides rock-solid support, making the plant virtually unstoppable. Secondly, it massively increases the plant's surface area for sucking up water and nutrients. And lastly, the pot itself acts as a perfect watering well, directing every drop right to the core of the new root zone. What more could your tomatoes possibly need? Trick question. Your tomato patch needs nothing more. The plant protector. A knight in shining plastic. Imagine this. A tender young seedling, freshly transplanted into the great, big, scary world of your garden bed. The wind whips, the temperature drops, and lurking in the shadows are legions of nibbling villains, earwigs, woodlice, and pillbugs looking for a soft green snack. This seedling needs a bodyguard, a physical, plastic-clad guardian. By taking a simple plastic pot and performing a quick operation, snipping out the base with a pair of scissors or a sharp knife, you create a revolutionary piece of garden armor, the plant collar. This isn't just a passive shield. What you're now looking at is an active microclimate generator. You simply pop this bottomless cylinder over your vulnerable transplant, gently pushing it an inch or so into the soil. Instantly, you've erected a barrier against biting winds that can stunt growth, shred delicate leaves, and prevent crawling pests. The collar acts as a mini windbreak and a physical deterrent, allowing your seedling to channel its energy into root establishment and growth rather than constant defense. It's a simple operation that instantly transforms your role from a passive planter to an active guardian. The Garden Shed Organizer. Every gardener suffers from cluttered space from time to time. Your pruners, twine, plant labels, pencils, and a half-empty packet of seeds, you name it, have migrated to every corner of the shed or greenhouse bench, entering a state of quantum uncertainty where they are both everywhere and nowhere at once. You spend more time searching for your tools than you do using them. This chaos is a silent thief of time and joy. Luckily, though, the cure is already in your hoard. Take a few sturdy pots of various sizes, using a screw or a bit of wire. Fix them to the wall of your shed or the side of your greenhouse bench. Instantly, you have a modular, customizable storage system. The large pots hold your hand forks and trowels. The medium ones are perfect for balls of twine, a bag of ties, and your label maker. The small ones corral those pesky pencils and permanent markers. By having a dedicated home for everything, you declutter your mind as much as your space. No more frantic searches before a potting session. Everything is close to hand, visible, and ready for action. This turns your shed from a black hole of frustration into a temple of efficiency. And in the peaceful, organized mind of a gardener, great things can grow. The potting mix saver. Let's set the scene, shall we? You've bought a beautiful, massive container. You envision it overflowing with strawberries or lush with leafy lettuce. Then you start filling it with potting mix, and you watch in horror as bag after expensive bag disappears into its cavernous depths. The weight becomes immense, the cost adds up, and you realize you've essentially created a raised bed for plants that have surprisingly shallow roots. It feels inefficient, a waste of money. The 200 IQ gardener, however, instead of feeling frustration, performs a classic sleight of hand. Before a single scoop of premium potting mix goes in, they place 1 or 2 empty plastic pots upside down at the bottom of the large container. If the container is very large or the pot flimsy, they use 2, nesting them together for stability. Then, and only then, do they pour the potting mix around them, filling the container as normal. What's the result of all this? Well, you've created a hidden, empty void in the center of your pot, a false bottom. For deep-rooted plants, do not do this. But for shallow-rooted champions like lettuces, strawberries, and many herbs, you've just saved 1/3 of your potting mix, reduced the overall weight by 1/3, and improved portability. The audience, anyone who admires your garden, sees a lush, abundant, and presumably heavy container. Only you know the secret, that beneath the surface lies a cleverly engineered space. The 5-star Bug Hotel. As autumn leaves begin to fall, most of the garden world is tucking in for a long winter's nap. But the smart gardener is thinking about next spring's pest patrol. Where will the more beneficial insects wait out the winter? The entire year you've spent creating this symbiotic relationship with these beneficial bugs is about to go up in flames, or in this case, frost unless you've got a plan. And with a garden shed filled with plastic pots, you've definitely got a plan. Take a decent-sized plastic pot. The kind that once held a shrub is just perfect. You've successfully found the frame for your bug hotel. Now, go on a nature walk and gather dry, natural materials: bamboo or elderberry hollow stems, straw, dry leaves, moss, bits of bark, and pine cones. The key is variety, offering different tube diameters and textures for different insect guests. Pack these materials tightly into the pot, ensuring everything is flush with the rim so nothing sticks out and gets waterlogged. Then, place your newly constructed bug in a quiet, sheltered spot, perhaps tucked under a hedge or secured to a fence. Those beneficial insects now have a 5-star hotel to wait out the freezing cold. Come spring, as your bug guests check out, they'll be hungry and ready to get to work. It's the ultimate natural pest management. The Earwig Enforcer. If you've ever dealt with earwigs in your garden, then you understand just how tricky they can be. On one hand, they are voracious predators of soft-bodied pests like aphids. On the other hand, they have a notorious taste for the petals of beautiful flowers like dahlias. This means that the question shifts from how to eliminate them to how to manage them. The 200 IQ gardener, rather than wage a war that does no one any good, initiates a strategic relocation program with nothing but a plastic pot. This hack is brilliantly simple. Take a pot and thread it onto a cane or stake like a ring on a finger. Then stuff that pot with slightly moistened straw, packing it in firmly so it won't fall out. Now invert the entire assembly and push the cane into the ground, right next to your precious dahlias or near a fruit tree you want protected from aphids. The earwigs, which are mostly active at night, will find this damp, dark, straw-filled cavity to be the most desirable real estate in the entire garden. They will march up the cane and take up residence. During the day, you can simply check the pot and shake any residents out into the compost heap, where their aphid-munching skills are welcome, or leave them be if they're in a useful location. This turns a problem into a solution. Instead of using pesticides, try a little bit of psychology. You've given the earwigs a better offer, effectively herding them to where you want them pest control through urban planning. The invasive plant warden. Every garden has them, the thugs, the invaders, the plants with imperialistic ambitions. For example, mint, always with its underground runners, or the bamboo, always looking to spread and escape into the neighbor's lawn. Planting them directly in the ground is like releasing a prisoner and hoping they'll honor their parole. Spoiler alert, they won't. So you've got to stay one step ahead with your plastic pot in hand. The solution is a life sentence in a subterranean prison pot, up your mint, your lemon balm, or your horseradish in a plastic pot. Then dig a hole and plant the entire pot into the ground, ensuring the rim is about an inch proud of the soil surface. This creates an impenetrable barrier that prevents the roots from escaping. The plant thrives happily within its confines, but its spreading ambitions are forever checked. This method also allows you to tailor the soil within the pot to the plant's specific needs, even if it's completely different from the surrounding garden soil. That plastic pot becomes the walls of a botanical Alcatraz. It allows you to enjoy the flavors of mint or the beauty of an aggressive plant without unleashing a monster upon your garden and that of your neighbors. The on-demand label maker. You've just sown 6 different varieties of heirloom tomato, 3 kinds of basil, and a handful of mystery flowers. You swear you'll remember what's what. Fast forward a couple of weeks, and you're standing in your garden just staring at a flat of identical green seedlings, playing a frustrating game of guess the green commercial plant labels are flimsy, get lost, or fade in the sun. The solution, once again, is in the pile. Lighter colored plastic pots are your raw material. With a sturdy pair of scissors, simply cut the pot vertically into strips of whatever width you desire. These strips become incredibly durable, weatherproof plant labels. You can write on them with a permanent marker, or even better, a soft graphite pencil, which surprisingly doesn't fade in the sun. Get really organized by using different colored pots for different categories: white for flowers, green for vegetables, and black for herbs. A pot that once held a plant now holds the name of a plant. How ironic. Well, now you're never losing that green you just planted. Trust me, the overnight frost blanket. Spring is a fickle season, full of warm, sunny promises one day and the next, betrayal. We're talking about frosts no one saw coming. You've planted out your tender transplants, feeling proud of your foresight, only to hear a weather report that sends a chill down your spine. A late frost is coming. Do you dig them all up? Bring them inside? Panic sets in. Well, do I have good news for you? No panic required. Just grab your pots. The key is to use 2 pots for each plant, stacking them inside one another. This double-walled system traps a thick layer of insulating air between them, creating a microclimate that can be several degrees warmer than the outside air. Simply pop this pot dome over your vulnerable plant. If a hard freeze is predicted, you can throw an old sack or a piece of burlap over the top for extra insulation. In the morning, when the sun warms the air, simply remove the pots. Your plants will be safe, snug, and utterly unaware of the crisis they just slept through. This is emergency response gardening. Those stacked pots are a first aid kit for cold snaps, a disposable, deployable greenhouse system that turns a potential plant tragedy into a mere minor inconvenience. It's that easy. The creative canvas. Let's be honest, a sea of black and green plastic isn't the height of garden glamour. They're lifesavers, no doubt. But they can put a huge dent in your garden shed decor. But what if those pots weren't the final product, but the raw material for your creativity? The 200 IQ gardener knows that a little imagination can transform functional clutter into garden features. This is where you get to play and even get your family to play with you. A little family time never hurt anyone. So get some outdoor-rated acrylic paint and let your inner artist out. Paint patterns, landscapes, or simple, bold colors onto your terracotta and plastic pots. Once decorated, you can plant them up and hang them in a grouping on a dull fence, creating a stunning vertical display. Or go full-on whimsical and build a flower pot man, stacking pots of decreasing sizes to create a charming garden sculpture. Be as outrageous or as original as you dare. This practice transforms the very nature of the pot. It's no longer just a vessel, it's part of the display. the self-watering reservoir. Picture a thirsty tomato plant at the height of summer. You give it a generous drink, pouring water onto the soil surface. The water spreads, soaks the top few inches, and then the sun and wind swiftly steal it away through evaporation. The plant's deepest, most crucial roots get only a token offering, while the plant itself remains on a constant, desperate hydration drip feed. This is the plight of the surface-watered plant. But the 200 IQ gardener has a secret, a subterranean hydration butler working tirelessly to deliver drinks directly to the roots. This hack is a masterpiece of simple engineering. Take a standard 1-quart or similar-sized plastic pot, the kind you have dozens of. Do not remove the bottom. Instead, if it doesn't already have drainage holes, drill a few small holes in the sides, very close to the bottom. This is your reservoir. Now, dig a hole next to one of your deep-rooted, heavy-feeding plants. A tomato, a squash, a pumpkin, or a hungry cucumber are perfect candidate. Bury this pot right next to the plant, sinking it almost all the way to its rim. The crucial part is to ensure the top of the pot remains above the soil surface. When you water, you bypass the plant's main stem and pour the water directly into this buried pot. The water will slowly seep out through the bottom and side holes, deep underground, precisely where the plant's most established roots are greedily waiting. The benefits are profound. Surface water loss becomes almost zero. The plant roots will naturally grow downward toward this consistent source of moisture, creating a more resilient, drought-tolerant plant. Every single drop is delivered with maximum efficiency, meaning you use less water overall. Lastly, by keeping the soil surface around the plant stem drier, you discourage soil-borne fungi and blight spores from splashing up onto the leaves. So, while other gardeners are frivolously sprinkling the surface, you're conducting a covert ops hydration campaign, delivering life-sustaining moisture with precision. Pot management. The 200 IQ gardener's relationship with pots extends far beyond these clever hacks. An intelligent gardener must have a masterful system for pot management. The generous stash. A true pro always hoards more than they need. This is more about generosity than greed. Let me explain. Having a vast surplus means you can pot up divisions, seedlings, and cuttings without a second thought, ready to give them away to neighbors, to your child's school fair, or as a thank you to the ever-patient neighbor who waters your garden while you're away. Pots are the currency of community, the vehicle for sharing the joy of plants. The critical cleanup. A dirty pot is a Trojan horse. Lingering fungi, bacterial diseases, and pest eggs can hitch a ride from one season to the next, decimating your new plants. The ritual cleaning of pots is as sacred as sharpening tools. A bucket of soapy water, a dash of dish soap, and a stiff bristle brush are all you need to scrub away the old soil and potential problems. For terracotta pots caked with white mineral deposits, a wire brush makes quick work of the unsightly crust. Some gardeners take it a step further, soaking their pots in a dilute, garden-friendly disinfectant for total sterilization. It's a satisfying act of garden hygiene that pays dividends in plant health. The Eco-Friendly Endgame. The 200 IQ gardener is acutely aware of the plastic problem. Their goal is to keep pots in circulation for as long as humanly possible. But when a pot is truly cracked, faded, and beyond use, they ensure its end is responsible. They know that black plastic is often invisible to recycling plant machinery, so they check local regulations for other colors. You can utilize garden center take-back schemes. They list them on FreeCycle, Craigslist, or simply leave them at the curb with a free sign, passing the baton of potential to another gardener. And the ultimate enlightened goal? To slowly transition away from the cycle entirely by embracing biodegradable pots made from coir, bamboo, miscanthus grass, or the timeless art of rolling your own from newspaper. The plastic pot hoard shouldn't be the end game. It should be a stepping stone on the path to a sustainable, creative, and deeply intelligent way of gardening. So, the next time you see that towering, glorious pile of plastic, you will see it for what it truly is. Not a collection of objects, but a library of solutions. It is the physical manifestation of a mind that sees potential in everything, that wastes nothing, and that understands that the smartest garden is not the one with the most expensive tools, but the one with the most ingenious resources. Now go forth and hoard smartly. So, tell us, how many of these alternative plastic pot uses are you familiar with? How many do you employ in your garden? Which of them are you giving a shot? Tell us what you think in the comments section. If you learned something new today, don't be a stranger. Hit that like and subscribe buttons. And till next time, my green-thumbed friends.